Alright everyone, this is Crysis 2 on the Xbox 360. It's also available on the PlayStation 3 and of course on the PC, which if you have a PC very powerful enough to run the game, it's the preferred version because they recently did a big update to the PC version where it added DirectX 11 support. You can actually find videos of the DirectX 11 version of this game, and you're actually going to be really surprised how much better the game looks now. But nonetheless, this is the Xbox 360 version, and it still looks really good. I'm really surprised how good this game looks for a console. And this kind of proves a point of my reasoning why I'm not in a hurry for a next generation system right away. Nintendo will be the exception, but for Microsoft and Sony, honestly, they can take their time with a new console because games like this that still looks really good, even though it might not be in 1080p, but it still looks really good. But anyway, enough jabbering about that. Crysis 2 is a first-person shooter, of course. You know, it's pretty obvious, and it's developed by Crytek, the same people that did the original Crysis. Which, as of this recording, news came out that the original Crysis is actually being ported over to the Xbox 360. The reason why now is because Crysis 2 uses Crytek's new CryEngine 3, and this particular engine is designed for both consoles and PC. So as long as the game is running in that engine, they can port it to pretty much any home console, you know, on the PS3 and Xbox 360, which is actually a smart move for them because Crytek is known for pushing graphics, and even Crytek came out and said that, you know, these consoles, you know, the biggest problem with them is that these manufacturers don't put enough RAM in them. And, you know, I believe that Crytek even said that the 360 should have had like 8 gigabytes of RAM or some high number like that. But, yeah, anyway, back to the game. I'm not going to tell too much about the story. The story is kind of interesting, but it's not why you're playing this game. You know, the campaign is actually pretty good. There is an interesting story. The reason why I don't want to give it too much away is for people that played the original one. When you do play this one, you're actually in for a big surprise, and I don't want to reveal that on here. But one thing I will say is that the character you play looks similar, but not so much either in that way either. So when you're playing this game, of course, it controls pretty much like any other first-person shooter game. There is a twist with this. Much like in the first Crysis game, the Crysis 2 is more simplified in that you have different abilities for the suit you're wearing. In Crysis 2, the two main abilities you have is a armor system and cloaking. And that just does it with the left and right bumpers on the controller. And that's really the biggest draw with this game, is that there is a bit more strategy to this game than just running gunning. And part of the big draw with this game is, of course, as you're going to see now, is the multiplayer. Like I said, the single player campaign is not bad, but the multiplayer in this game is actually really fun. What makes this fun is the suit abilities. You know, with the armor suit and the cloaking, you know, it adds a different strategy to an online first-person shooter game, and it plays really well. And this is the only other game I know of that actually has a kill cam system. Look at this. That's actually a nice touch. You know, coming from a person that plays a lot of Call of Duty, and then coming into this, you cannot play it the same way. It's a different strategy. One big difference, of course, is the suit. But other things you can do is, because the suit does make you more powerful, you can actually push cars around. So say like the car you saw just a while ago was parked near the door there. Well, towards the end of the video, you're actually going to see two guys actually pushing the car, essentially barricading that entrance to the parking garage. So you can kind of customize how people navigate through the map by altering the environment in some shape or form, which is actually kind of a nice touch if you ask me. One thing I will say is that because this game is published by EA, this game does support the EA Pass, but rest assured that it is not necessary to use the EA Pass to play the game online. I'm actually using my brother's copy of this game, and I have not entered any EA Online passcode. So, and obviously I'm playing online on my system, on my account. So if you're worried about, am I forced to buy the game new? You don't really have to. You can buy it used, even though I would suggest buying it new anyway. That way you at least support the developers. But yeah, this particular version I'm using is the limited edition version. EA does this thing where the first run of games are the limited edition versions. You know, they add a little bit more stuff to it and things like that. And you know, after the first initial run, then they release like the standard version. So I don't know if that has to do with anything, but nonetheless, this game is a really fun game. Even though it might look like I'm actually doing terrible, I'll admit I'm not very good at this game online, just because it has a very different play style. But I do enjoy the game, and obviously the game does look good. Now, of course, you are going to get some hiccups with the frame rate, and that's because this game is really pushing the capabilities of the 360. So, like, you're going to see some cases where it would really take a frame rate hit, especially like in some cases when you're looking down through the scope. That's probably the biggest problem with this game, is the frame rate hiccup. You know, the game looks fine. Sound-wise, it's actually really good. If you have a surround sound system, this is one of those first-person shooters that will shine. It just sounds awesome. So I'll just end it here. You know, if you're interested in this game, go check it out. I highly suggest you check this game out. If you like first-person shooters, you're going to enjoy this game. And guess what? It's not a Call of Duty game. It's not a military-style shooter. It's kind of military, but not in the sense of like a Modern Warfare, Black Ops, or even Battlefield. So that's pretty much it. This has been a look at Crysis 2 on the Xbox 360. Like always, have a good one. And if you enjoyed this video, leave comments down below and subscribe. Like always, have a good one.